hoisted my right arm up and latched onto a mug full of one.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Tales of Myth and Mayhem. My name is Michelle Snow, and I am the overseer of It Never Fucking Changes, our little game of Fallout here on the channel. Say hello, survivors.
Hello.
Hello.
Find out where I'm muted. Hello, survivors.
You're all unmuted, and
Yep.
you all sound very ready to play a game of this thing. So, shall we play a game of this thing?
And just to confirm, I heard us coming off the stream, so I'm pretty sure we're definitely audible.
Audible is good. Audible is good. So, last time, our adventurers were journeying to find an item that would save their village, and they, of course, stumbled on another village that is in crisis. And so had decided to maybe try and do some helping out, some scratching of backs to hopefully get their backs equally scratched later on. Unfortunately, our group of adventurers brought a terrible, terrible disease into the town, sludge lung, and managed to disinfect almost everyone in town. So they went off to go and find some medicine, and they found some, and then some, at the Red Rocket gas station, where we will pick up where we left off. So you've been searching around the place, and you have basically stripped the bodies of the 2 dead gunners that you made dead last time. You've also stripped off a bunch of the armor and weapons from all of the dead raiders that were outside, all of Gut Guzzler's old dead friends. And she just sat there and watched you just strip her old former friends for parts, essentially, in front of her, and she's just still sitting there unsure what to do. And as you were sort of looking around... Okay, which one of you would have likely have gone, whilst you were scavenging all of this stuff up, which one of you will have looked around the garage?
I think Jade will have focused more on... I mean, he's sitting with... what was her name? The
Gut Guzzler.
Gut Guzzler.
to try and soothe her a bit, so that is Jade's.
That's good to know. So you are next to Gut Guzzler in the main, in like the shop portion. So like last time I explained, there's like the pharmacy behind a locked door, or like the stock room basically. Then there's like the shop area, and then outside there is like where the cars would pull up to get fueled up back when it was a working fueling station. And then off to the side there is a garage area where people would have their cars repaired. So you are, Jade, you are in the main shop area. Freddie, where are you?
Freddie would most likely be in the pharmaceutical area and storeroom because he is the one who picked the lock to get in, and he was searching in there. So that is where I'm assuming he mostly was at this time.
So that's where Freddie is. Augusta, where are you?
I was at the door with Freddie, helping. Like, I think we looked into whether we could push the door open with something else initially, because we were a bit worried about whether it'd be trapped or anything like that, or what might be in there. So I think as we opened the door, I was definitely there.
Okay. So, did anyone want to search the Red Rocket more than you have? You still have the option, because so far you have searched essentially the stock room and the dead bodies. You haven't really searched anywhere else.
Yeah, at this time, that's all the further Freddie has got because he's scavenging. I mean, meds and everything like this, and the bits of food he's found that doesn't seem to be irradiated.
Irradiated.
Yeah, that's the word. And yeah, he was happily searching in here for quite some time, tipping, shelves, looking under things, behind things.
Is there much outside the stock room? Just around, or has the shop been sort of picked clean by raiders over the years?
There is some stuff. There mostly seems to be junk. But it has been picked relatively clean. But, relatively clean.
I mean, we came for the stock room, really. I might have a look around just in case there's anything that's been missed that might be interesting to my character that isn't of interest to readers.
Okay, if you want to look around, give me a perception survival check. DC 3. Yeah, no,
That's
you don't.
one success.
You don't find anything. This place looks to be relatively picked clean.
It doesn't mean that someone more skilled than me might not find something, but at least I've tried.
Eventually, Freddie comes wandering out with a whole pile of goods from back there in a crate. Also in there is the antibiotics. He's opened the box. He's got one of them. He's popping some of the pills, and he throws...
Oh, can I have some of those?
Yeah, he tosses you a package.
Thank you. This is definitely the thing that will fix the black gung lung thing.
Oh, let's hope it works fast, because...
Yeah, it's not a fun time. I don't know where all this stuff is coming from, and it's quite disturbing.
Yeah, I'm just... I don't know which end I'd rather have it coming out of.
What's that?
There were alternatives on the table I rolled that could have answered for that, but
We're very grateful.
yeah, these antibiotics you found, they come in an injectable form similar to a stim pack. So they're not pills. Basically, yeah, you would just straight into your neck or wherever you have a vein, really.
I want it to clear the throat out right away. Or, if you want the lungs.
Don't clear your throat by sticking a thing into it.
So, Freddie, you just injected the antibiotics into your bloodstream, and they begin to work very, very quickly as they're directly into your bloodstream, channeling all around your body. You immediately start to feel a bit better, and probably within the next hour or so, you will be 100%.
I'm already feeling better, Augusta.
I will do the same thing then. Maybe not like straight into my neck, but like somewhere easy to get to.
Well, that's pretty easy.
Yeah, it just feels weird.
Yeah, it goes right to the brain first. Woo! But now Freddie will say, there's also looking over at Jade. Jade, there's also a lot of other medical stuff here. You might want to look at some Radaway, some... This one, Super Stim Pack. We dilute this down, we can get quite a few out of it. Otherwise, there's some good food and other stuff. The water here is a little dirty, but they have some good bourbon. Looks like it may be pretty old.
Might be worth seeing if we can trade with that back in the town.
Yeah, it looks you guys have stripped them down pretty good. Yeah, we can use that to trade to get all the other rooms.
We haven't had... Well, I had a quick look, but like you're obviously a lot more skilled. You know what you're looking for.
Anything that I can sell. Pretty easy.
Well, that could be anything. Like you've got a better eye. So if you want to look, I won't be offended if you look as well.
Freddie will attempt to make a look around the area we're in, just a once over. Yeah, he's kind of rushing it, and he's getting these lousy rolls out of his way first. I'm trying to see if I got I'm fatigued at 1. That's why. That he's having issues, because he's under...
Yeah, wait till you're not sick. You'll see better.
Yeah.
Okay, so you wander around, and between you and Freddie, you find nothing. Except... you are in the garage, and you're beeping, and you're going through there, and you hear a beep. I'm going to say Augusta and Freddie, you're both there, because you both just did a search. Between you got 1 success. So I'm being kind and giving you the bare minimum of what you were able to find. So you can hear a beep, and you move some trash out the way, and you can see the carcass of a... Oh, damn. This is why I should have had my notes up before I start talking. That's the point.
At least you have notes.
There it is. You see the carcass of a Miss Nanny robot. There is a light blinking, and occasionally
hello.
you can hear it go beep, and occasionally.
I'm going to go straight over to that and kind of, what happened to you? See what I can see, if there's working power, that kind of thing.
So you want to analyze it?
Yes, I do.
Okay, give me a science intelligence roll. DC 2. Oh, hell yeah. Okay. So you get to bank one of those.
That was 3 successes. I just need to say it out loud for the stream.
Okay, you got 3 successes. And I think one of those is a critical, right? You got 2. And I think if you roll 1 or 2 on those because of something you're wearing, that means it's special?
Yep. Yep. Also, like, massive background skill in science, I think that's part of it.
Alright. So here's what happens. Because that was really good. That was too good. You're too good at rolling virtual dice, Levator. So you open up the front panel of this little Miss Nanny, which is basically looks like a Mr. Handy robot, but the branding's different. And this one, all right. So yeah, looks like a Mr. Handy model. It's got a buzzsaw, a pincer, and a flamer on it, which is pretty much standard for Mr. Handy robots. But this is a Miss Nanny robot that you remember was custom made by Vault Tech and other. Well, these models were made by a number of different companies to look after small children. And you open up the front panel, and inside you can see that there was a problem. The holotape reader that is basically giving it all of its orders has become jammed. And with that roll, I'm going to say you have successfully unclogged the jam and primarily basically got it to an operable state. The little Miss Nanny flies up and says, "Child name input."
There is no child.
Child name input.
I turn it off again.
It collapses onto the floor.
We should take this. It's definitely useful, but we can't use it right now.
What does it do?
For us.
Freddie knows very little about this sort of technology. You're in Vault Dweller. He's
I'm also massively into, like, this is her specialist area. She's really into, like, artificial intelligence and how these things work. And
he's figuring
very early on in her experiences, and just it's kind of stuck with her as a thing. She was aware of a couple at the vault as well, but she doesn't encounter them often out in the wild, especially in wastelands now, and especially working, because a lot of the times their power sources have been taken for other things.
Oh, what can you do with their power sources?
Lots of things, but I think with this one, it'd be very useful to have a robot potentially, if we can make it so that it's not just asking for a child input. But that is not just now's problem. The main thing we need to do right now is get this medication back to the town. But we're definitely taking this with us, and we'll look at it later.
Okay. How are you going to transport the robot back?
Can we get it on Mewtwo?
How large is it?
It's the size of a Mr. Handy robot, which is usually like
I've seen them in the game, so
they're as tall as a human, but they're basically like they've got a big round head and they've got like multiple legs that also have weapons on them. So this is looking like it's a very expensive piece of kit. I don't think Tumu's going to do it.
We have Roman.
Pick stuff up and put.
I hesitate to make Roman carry stuff whilst his controller isn't here.
If he isn't here to control him, he can as well carry stuff.
I mean, he's not our only super mutant.
But neither. What do we have for possible working? Something Tumu might be able to pull.
Are there any vehicles that might be? It feels like a lot to make Tumu pull something, but if there's enough of a vehicle kicking around, we might be able to rig something together.
Just to give you a little heads up, a Mr. Handy robot weighs about 450 kilos.
Okay, so Tumu could just barely carry him if that's all he was carrying, because their weight's
Right,
about
this isn't
5.
going to work then. Maybe I'll need to turn it back on and have it move under its own power.
What's its function? Maybe we can program it to somebody.
This one is a nanny, so we need to sort of attach it to a child, but it's going to be fiercely protective of that child. Are you going to be child?
What are they going to protect? How do they protect?
With all the tools it has, which, because it's a basic adapted model, it's got all the weapons and things.
Let's start with the basic questions. Is it going to try to feed me bottles and change my diapers?
I don't know. I've never found one of the nanny ones working before.
But I don't mind something protecting me. So.
Well, none of us would, but.
Are you? I mean, you or the doc might be a better choice. Your value is a little bit more.
Yeah, maybe we should tell it Tumu is the child.
Ooh.
Oh.
I like that.
The only thing is it might object to us making the child carry stuff, which is kind of the point of Tumu.
I mean, we can always turn it off again, can't we?
This is true.
If you can get close enough, once it has bonded.
I don't want to mistreat this thing. There is an artificial intelligence in there, even if it is just artificial, and we shouldn't
Oh no, I think it could be useful and definitely valuable. Very valuable.
It's valuable, and we could possibly use the power source, but we. I haven't
Looking around, is there like a hand cart, wheelbarrow, anything? I'm thinking we'll put Rome in at least a little bit of use, but we won't make him work too hard for it.
I'm hoping that in the vault that we're heading to, there might be somewhere where I can work on this device, on the robot. If we can get the robot to the vault, if we can get the vault open. There's a lot of ifs, but medium-term plans.
You learned when you were looking on the inside that there isn't really anything wrong with this unit apart from you kind of figured, because that was a good roll, you figured out that basically it was taking in data through audio. It's a setting that a lot of robots have, where somebody plays a bit of code, then the robot can record it and add that to its programming. For whatever reason, that mode was operating, it was rewriting code, and then something went wrong and the tape got chewed up. So you know that this robot is in. Now that you've fixed that issue, you know that it is in basically fully a working order, and is unlikely to take code via audio ever again. That feature is dead and broken and done by whatever the hell happened to it, and you fixing it has basically just got it back on its feet. So essentially, you have rewritten its whole data, so it is essentially as new, apart from being old. You know what I'm saying?
But it still needs to, and he looks over to Augusta. So it needs to be assigned to somebody to work. Can't we just say something to follow me to your assignment or something, and then turn it off later?
Maybe worth a try. Like I said, I've got limited experience with the nanny ones.
I have zero with all of them, other than what you've shown us back at town and this. How much money do you think we could get from something like this?
A working one? Probably quite a bit, but it depends where you take it to. We need to take it to somewhere where they've got the money, which isn't a given, but they're worth, working quite a lot. That's one of the reasons I keep renovating them when I find them.
You just see dollar signs kind of in Freddie's eyes. Or, excuse me, caps.
We need to take it. I'm in no doubt about that.
Oh.
But we also need to get on with getting the people in the village because...
How much can we all carry? And then I guess Tumu could probably just barely carry it if we get all the rest of that stuff off of him.
What we could do is put it back in the storeroom and lock it again, because we didn't destroy the door, and come back for it.
Yeah, because we don't want them finding out about it. That's probably a smart idea, because they'll try to take it.
We could take the power unit and put that on Tumu so they couldn't get it started. The power
You're the
core.
smart one. You are the smart one, Augusta.
Okay, so we're going to take the power core out of the Ms. Nanny, and we'll leave Ms. Nanny in the stockroom with the door locked.
Okay, cool. So make a note that you've pulled out the fusion core.
How many charges are in that fusion core? No, that's the fusion cell, excuse me. That's the battery for guns.
Yeah, the fusion core will just, it depends on how much power is being used, but it should last for longer than longer than I'll be alive. I can't speak for the super mutants.
A fusion core. What will you know? Freddie, you probably won't know that much about fusion cores. They don't come up that much. Augusta, you definitely know something about fusion cores. They tend to be a little, they operate in a similar way as a battery. They're about that big, but they're not really a battery. They're basically the thing that makes a nuclear reactor happen on a very small scale in a very small device, which a robot is. So you take out its fusion core. That fusion core is designed to last for hundreds of years in one of these units, so you take it out and put it in your pocket, no problem. And you've got two civilians with you, so I'm assuming they're moving into the stock room and locking the door after you with the lockpick set you have is no problem. Jade, on
that note, is there a way that I could program the door or reset it? Or is it still a keyed lock, just to confirm?
It's still a keyed lock.
Okay.
So I'd say if you successfully lock the door would be a dexterity lockpicking check, difficulty 2. And you can use your lockpick set as well, because I don't see why you wouldn't be able to use that to lock a door.
Yep. Additional success. 1 success. I don't know how many I need. And if he needs to make a...
You needed 2.
He didn't critically... Okay, as long as we're not being rushed, he will attempt again, but biggest thing he's looking for is he can't fail. So that costs lockpicks. Oh yeah, that... I risk rolled it before because it adds the target number, not dice. So I would have had 2 successes because it would have raised my target 1 by 1. With
okay.
Reduced... Sorry, the lockpicks. Let me look it up just to confirm. So it would have reduced it by 1.
Okay, so in that case, you did it. You clink and clank and you lock the door with the little Miss Nanny inside. The fusion core is on your person, so yeah. Jade, you said you wanted to chat with Gut Guzzler.
Yes.
What would you like to say to her? She's currently sat on the floor, occasionally saying to herself, just go home. Just going to go home. You're going to go to town. You're going to wait for a caravan. You're just going to find someone. You're going to walk with them back home, and you'll just explain to everyone that you were wrong. That's all. And other similar things like that over and over again.
Yeah. Why did you leave to begin with?
Why do you care?
You seem distraught. I mean, I'm here, ain't I?
Yes, you're a super mutant who cares that I'm distraught. I'm sorry, but that's not something that's ever happened to me before.
Just helped you, didn't I?
I guess that's true. Maybe you're the help I've been looking for. I left home because, I want to say so many reasons that sound okay, but here's the truth. I like drugs. I like chems. Alright? It's as simple as that. I went where the chems were. And she looks like she's just been reminded of something. She pulls out a jet and inhales it. A jet is a very common drug in the wasteland. You'll all be vaguely familiar with what jet is. It's basically kind of like meth, but it comes in like an asthma inhaler type of thing. So you just
Is it worth it?
Yes. Yes. Yes, it was worth it. Look at me.
Was or is?
You just picked all of the useful items you could off of my dead. Well, they weren't really friends. I'd say more my dead enablers.
That's what I mean. You could have been out there. Would it have been worth it?
Well, I mean, what happened? Did you kill them all?
No.
Well, who did?
They were dead when we come.
Right. So you're just scavengers, right?
Let's call it that.
But you wanted those meds for a reason. Like you acted like you knew those meds were there, which means you came here for them. Look, just stop fucking with me, all right? If you're gonna kill me, just fucking kill me, all right? And stop with this fucking around, all right? I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this whole thing.
Would have been quite stupid to save you if we just wanted to kill you.
Well, nothing you're doing makes any sense. She stands up and the jet's working, so she's a bit like, what are you doing here? Why are you here? Why did you not kill me? Why did you save me? What were those two pricks? What did they want? Who killed all my friends?
Weren't you with them when they got killed?
No. I went to the toilet.
I think Jade would actually chuckle a bit about that.
Yeah, laugh it up, all right? It's so funny for you to go for a shit and then come back and find out that all your friends are dead. Well, I'm sorry, actually, not all of them, because some of them were still alive when I got back and I hid. So, ha! Then at that point, she sort of hears what she said, then sits down on the floor again and starts to cry.
I think, because Jade will know that if he put his hand on her, she'll probably freak out.
Maybe.
So I think he'll just be sitting there on the floor, like leaned back against cabinets or wall or whatever we're set against, and just, I don't know, just wait. And he was like, I'm sorry, that wasn't nice of me to laugh. It was the situation of being saved by going to the toilet, not the fun part in your friends being killed. I acknowledge that must not have been nice.
You're clearly a doctor, so you know that a lot of the drugs, they block you up. So when you gotta go, you gotta take that chance. You gotta take that time when you've been flying for a few days. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, you'll explode.
Absolutely.
That's what Thrasher told me. He always did right by me, Thrasher. I mean, yeah, he did. He did really enjoy like kidnapping people, and that was weird. But he's always kind of me.
You see, just because people do bad things doesn't mean they're bad people. Super mutants have a bad reputation too, and some of them are dickheads. I'm not.
No.
I try not to be, at least.
Oh, fuck it. Do you know where the nearest town is?
Do we know?
Probably the one we just came from.
Um,
Yeah, you know that like the nearest
Quincy.
town to you is Quincy, where you came from. Up the
Yeah.
road, like there's not really that much else going on in this part of the wasteland. The only other place you know of would be maybe a day's travel north is the beginnings of the what used to be known as Boston. So there is a whole bunch of like settlements and groups and traders and all sorts of people to the north. But the nearest town to you right now is Quincy.
and as long as she is into drugs like this, like doesn't seem to want to get out of it, I don't think you want to send her to Quincy because she was a part of the that group that they have a group of gunners that have threatened the city, right? Said
Yeah.
you have like days, and I suppose that's her group.
Now the Gunners are a
No.
different thing.
Yep.
There's the Gunners are threatening Quincy. She was part of a bunch of raiders that were just there. They didn't really have a big plan except get the pharmacy open and get really fucking high all the time.
Okay.
It was the Minutemen you met that have killed her friends.
Okay. But still, so if you went back home, would you give up the drugs? Do you want to continue? Is it? Is the
Why
risk
would I
of
give up the one thing that makes life worth living?
why wasn't it worth living home?
Because they would go on my case about all the drugs. I just... You know what I'd really like? Just a whole bunch of drugs, obviously. And to be around cool people who do them. Who don't kidnap people. Or don't, like, get up in everyone's face because you've been drooling too much. Or you've been speaking too much. Or you're drooling and speaking too much because you got the dosage really fucking wrong. I just want to find a cool bunch of people to hang out with, you know? But I guess that's not going to happen, so look. You're going to a settlement, clearly. You're going to a settlement with those drugs. Take me to the settlement, and I'll find the next caravan, or whatever, and make my way back to Diamond City. Can you do that for me?
Augusta, she's always like this with strays.
I have no idea.
I'm somewhat entertained, but we gotta go.
We can absolutely take you with us if you don't mind helping just take stuff onto our beast of burden.
Your Brahmin.
Yeah, we're just loading up and we're going to go down to the town, and you're welcome to come if you want to.
All right. Thank you.
But if you hurt anyone or steal from anyone, I'm not going to be so kind anymore. And he will stand up.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 2 super mutants. Don't mess around, please.
I think Goslin needs to do a check now.
Don't know why I'm looking at Roll20. We won't see this check, will we?
Or maybe...
I don't know if you can see this check, actually. It'll be good to find out if you can or not. Settings. Okay, whisper
I know we
rolls
can-
is off, so I turned the whispers off to see if you could see this. So
Well, maybe they will. Don't hurt anyone. Don't steal from anyone. Because Roman isn't as nice as I am.
Roman is perfectly nice, but he's very effective at keeping us safe.
That's right, Roman is nice. But if I need to threaten people,
It helps to have them standing behind you. I understand.
It's
did you
Oh, yeah, we
see-
saw
did you
that
see
one.
That roll? Have you seen
We saw
the
that
roll?
one, yeah.
yes.
Okay. As you can see, Gut Guzzler has failed. So it becomes you. I'm taking you're wanting to leave, right? You want to leave the Red Rodicate and head back to town. That's what this is. So you Gut Guzzler load up Tumu with all of the booty that you have found. You have locked up the Little Miss Nanny securely in the pharmacy. You have taken its fusion core, and during that time, it becomes glaringly obvious that Gut Guzzler has wet herself at some point since listening to Jade's very, very reasonable but still terrifying threat. What you choose to do with that information is up to you, but there it is. That's what's happened. So you begin walking back to Quincy.
Might say to the group in general, right, before we get going, does anyone need to do anything before we leave this place? We all good? Not directly to Gut Guzzler, but like maybe she'll get a hint.
Looking over to Jade, you bring it along, you take care of it.
Gut Guzzler just grumbles to herself for a bit, like, not it. Yeah.
Have you said the same?
I'm awfully worried about Jade. So Jade comes back and she's just he's just carrying Gut Guzzler in like a sort of papoose.
I was, Jade will just look at Freddie and go like, "Have you said that to Roman too?"
I've told him, but he's not going to listen any better than you, I'm sure.
Well, good. Now we've sorted that out. On to Quincy, and we'll try and get everyone healed up, and hopefully they'll be in a position where if they decide they are going to make this fight, they can at least try.
Let's
All
go
right.
to Quincy. Let's get you cleaned up.
You walk with Quincy. You walk not with Quincy. You walk towards Quincy, and Gut Guzzler is making no reference to what has happened. She's decided. Well, you don't really know what she's decided. It's possible that she's decided basically at this point she doesn't give a shit anymore about anything like that. She's been through enough. At this point, she doesn't care. Or she's genuinely so scared she hasn't noticed. You can't work out which, but whatever it is. You arrive back into town, and the first thing you see is General Isaacs in a face mask. She's just leaving one of the houses on the street, and she looks a bit freaked out. What would you like to do?
Oh crap!
Whistle loudly.
As if to a
get her
sheepdog
attention.
kind of thing.
Yeah, to get her attention from distance.
She turns around, sees you, and walks up to you and just says, "Were they there?"
Freddie's feeling much better. Yes, as he takes a deep breath in front of her.
So how many?
The doc has him. I didn't count. I just.
I think
Made
we've got
sure I
enough
had-
for everyone,
We were told that we had enough for everyone,
even people that weren't infected yet.
even people that
Should
weren't.
be-
Infected. Yeah.
Should be enough for everybody in town to take a dose.
Okay.
Yep.
She looks inside the box and sees there's around 50 antidotes in there. She looks up at you and just says, "Thank you." I'll start.
We brought the problem. It's the least we could do.
Yeah.
I'll
If
start.
Jim is here yet, maybe wait and have him be the last one.
Oh, Jim. He's well, he started to show remarkable signs of recovery. So he made himself the Quincy's nurse.
Jade, these people need help.
Quickly.
And
I mean, he's doing okay. He's doing fine, but also he is not. He's not great at it.
Has anyone got better? Probably not.
No, no one has got better. If anything, people have gotten worse remarkably
Right, let's
quickly.
get this administered. If nothing else, he can maybe help with that. If you show him where to put the. Oh, I
Oh,
don't even know if
no,
we can
just-
trust him to do that.
Yeah,
Please.
he liked the lady or whatever, Sisters of Pain or something. Remember, he's a little too good at knowing where to poke people.
I mean, he probably knows the most effective places for transmission in blood, so that's something.
At that
just-
point, you see across the street, the door opens and a guy that you have not met yet. The name that I have here. There we go. Right, that's who it is. So you see a door open and you see Stupid Jim is thrown out onto the street. A guy, sort of early 20s guy, who you saw earlier around town a bit. He coughs up a bunch of black sludge and then yells at Stupid Jim, "Stay the fuck away from me. You hear? You stay the fuck away from me, you fucking freak." Blah, blah. And he slams the door and Stupid Jim's just in the street. He has fashioned a face mask for himself out of a rag. And he is holding bottles of water that he has recently purchased from Caroline's shop. And he just looks thoroughly confused and hurt.
Maybe we should all just be involved with distributing this stuff rather than leaving it all to Jade and Jim.
I will take what is needed to the hospital, and the rest of you can go
Distribute.
Distribute.
Or we could direct people to the hospital, then you can oversee that. Would that be better? I don't know. You're the boss for this matter.
Speaks up from behind you and says, you can just tell me where, like, the nearest trader is, and I could find out where the next caravan is going back to Diamond City."
Oh, can we direct you
Hello,
to the shop that we
how
used
are you?
earlier?
Hello, how are you? I'm the nearest trader.
You're the trader?
He's a trader. He comes in 6 packs.
Oh, do you know where when the next caravan's coming through?
I believe in like 8 days there's going to be some people coming through. Maybe 10 days, and you can probably maybe hitch a ride with them if they're friendly enough.
Yeah, if there are any survivors.
What do you mean, survivors? What, 8 days? Can't be more than 2 days walk from Diamond City. I might as well just head back myself.
Good luck.
Just out of a character for a moment, where's Edinburgh in relation to Diamond City? Because we took like a week to get here.
Yeah, so it's... Diamond City is about 2 days from where you are. It's about a day's walk to the area of the city. It'll take probably another day once you get into the city area to get to Diamond City. Edinburgh is about 7 days to the south of Quincy, and the Boston area is to the north to northwest slightly of Quincy. Does that make
For
sense?
some reason, I had the idea that Edinburgh was nearer Boston than that, but that's okay. I just had the wrong idea. Thank you for that.
Well, I haven't really made a firm location.
Yeah, we have to
of
be a
where
bit vague about
Edinburgh
where it is in case we accidentally interfere with the world of actual Fallout, I guess.
I mean, I did mark it on a map in my notes, roughly where it is.
It's cool.
In my head, but you know, I hadn't really.
That's
thought
all that matters.
I know roughly in America where Edinburgh is, and I know that it's a week on foot away from Quincy. So it's like basically Edinburgh, 1 week on foot, Quincy, 2 days on foot, Diamond City. And in
Got
between
you.
that is loads of city and
I'm
other
not
stuff
going
in
to
between.
Diamond City anyway. They will murder me.
Yeah, that's probably smart. So yeah.
After torture.
All right, so
They've got nothing to gain from torturing me. They just want me dead. Anyway, the distribution of the cure, which is very important because they all need to get healed up and then they can get on with their important business of preparing to whatever's going to happen next.
Can I have a few of those? And I'll go take care of trading them. I mean, getting people taken care of.
okay,
I'd like
so
to talk to our trader friend in particular eventually here and get her taken
Freddie
care
here specializes in diseases of the very rich.
of.
Okay, so what does everyone want to do now? If everyone says what they want to do, we'll do it each in turn. That's probably the best way to do it.
I mean, Jade is going to take the vaccines, antidotes, antibiotics to the hospital and start. Yeah, try to see how much chaos stupid Jim have done and get an overview and start to get everyone sorted out.
Okay, so Jade, you head over to the hospital. Well, we say hospital. It was the building you designated last time.
Yeah.
That has now sort of started to become a hospital. You've been gone for a few hours now, so there's been a number of mattresses pulled inside, and a few people who who were probably more vulnerable to disease in general, are lying on them, on the beds, coughing up the black sludge. And from the looks of it, well, it's not the worst makeshift hospital you've ever seen, but it's far from the best. So I take it, did you try to speak to stupid Jim on your way there to figure out what he's been doing, or did you just walk past him and go straight into the hospital?
Just walking past him and going to the hospital.
Okay.
Is the most important right now.
All right. So I'm assuming you just start administering the antidotes all around.
Unless something is burning or anyone is bleeding.
No, it's just there's only like 3 or 4 people in there because most people haven't started coughing yet.
Okay.
So you've only really seen these 3 or 4 people who are the worst so far.
Okay.
As Freddie starts walking.
Oh, sorry. What were you saying?
I was going to say, as Freddie starts walking towards the trader, I can't remember her name or what the
Caroline.
MCU. Caroline's. He's going to yell out to people to go to the hospital to get antibiotics. They have enough for everybody. They're waiting for you. If you can't make it, let them know and they'll deliver some. Just as he's walking down the street. Seeing people he'll talk to quickly if he doesn't.
Okay. As you do that, you see General Isaac going around doing similar. She uses a little radio in her pocket to tell other people, get into town, we need help, we're distributing meds here, over, blah, blah, blah. So, you're going to Caroline's, right?
Yeah, I'm going to see about trading some of the stuff we picked up, unless people have picked it over, particularly armor. You can use it, all human size. Or other weapons you may want within the group, but I think we've picked through them previous.
Okay, so if you want to make a list of things you want to trade, I'll pop around the other players for a bit, see what they're doing, and get back to you.
No rush. Biggest thing he's going to try to do is get money and try to get the book of science and the other books. That's the general goal, since we got most of the food last time, things like that. So, but now he has items to trade.
All right,
and they need armor and weapons right now. It's good time to sell. Good demand right now. Extra high prices.
Okay, Augusta. So, what are you doing?
I mean, I think initially I'd be helping, tell people, come and get your cure, and make sure you don't get sick if you aren't already sick. Get to the hospital. There's some there. But I do want to talk to the captain after that.
You want to talk to General Isaac?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say, just to save a lot of the time of it, over the next few hours, it's around 6 p.m. in the evening when you get back. For the next 4 hours, between you, Jade, and Augusta, and General Isaacs and her men, all 2 of them, because there's only 3 of them left in the whole world now, you essentially give a dose of the antidote to everyone in the town. Scylla, the mayor, she is there and she checks off a list of names that she's made between her and James, her husband. And yeah, you inject everyone in town. So, Freddie, you're in the shop. Well, Caroline's shop. At some point, she does get a jab, but she didn't even notice that she had sludge lung. She was too busy this afternoon doing what she does. So as you walk in, she just says, "Oh, hello again, sugar. How's it going?"
Pretty good. We managed to find a bunch of stuff up there. We got the antibiotics.
Antibiotics?
managed to grab-
Why do we need antibiotics?
Somebody brought a disease in, and everybody's infected. And to make sure you don't get sick, they asked us to go get some antibiotics. Here, just hold still. Grabs her arm and gives a shot in the forearm.
Jesus
Here,
fucking Christ.
I owe you a drink for that. And he opens up a nice thing of bourbon, takes a chug, and then takes a second chug and passes it to her.
Gotta say, medicine usually goes down with the sugar. You know what I'm saying? Not post-medicine.
Well, I wanted to make sure sharing with you was safe.
Well, I mean, okay, but God, nobody tells me anything in this fucking town.
Don't tell you or you don't listen.
Well, it could be either, to be honest with you. Did you come in here to do some trading, or just come in here just to get me all pliable?
Both.
She twizzles her hair a little bit and gives you a look that may be alluring to some, but it's not really working for you.
And he pretends it does just to help sales. But when she looks away, he goes, yeah, basically, I don't have the list of what she has anymore in front of me. I can't remember where it was. And
I've got it here. I'll send it over Discord.
Yeah, where did I hide that? Okay, there we go. Yeah, particularly I remember he wanted to get after the books because that was something he wants, and then we need to resupply on food.
Okay. I just need to update the stocks from last time.
But I did not look up the pricing for stuff, so how about we, instead of trying to role play this at this moment, we can do that kind of off screen later, because I don't.
Sounds good. Okay.
But
so let's just assume you, Freddie, you do your business with Caroline. Is it just money business, or is there other business that you are into?
Just money business. Though he lets her think there's other business possible.
Okay.
Until sales are final.
All right, so let's just assume that goes over. And as you leave the place, Caroline looks a little bit disappointed. And
I left her the bottle, though. So
that's good of you. That's good of you. So I'm basically gonna say that, like, it's now about 11 o'clock at night. It's been a long evening of injecting people with a medicine that a lot of them don't understand. Like, these are wasteland people. They're not most experienced when it comes to medications, let's just say. So
is there a chance that some of them have had this black goo coughing thing before, then we can just see you won't get that again now.
Quite possibly, but you know they're people that they don't really have names for individual diseases. It's just Dell's sick. It's kind of like when Jilly was sick 2 years ago, maybe. Like, that's their level of knowledge. These aren't people who used to live in vaults or anything. These are people that, if they were lucky at all, their schooling was somebody in a side room, maybe. Like, they don't know that much. But anyway. So, it's 11 o'clock at night. You're all gathered in where you are staying, which was a house on the other side of town. Just going to get the map up for you. Oh, you've already got the map in Roll20. So yeah. So basically, you're in one of the a house along the high street, essentially in town. It's 11 o'clock at night. I'm assuming you're probably going to be wanting to go to bed, but I'm going to ask anyway. What would you like to do? Yes, there you are. Okay, so yeah, we're back to as it should be. Don't know how long it was doing that. That's going to be annoying. Apologies for people watching. I wasn't hearing that at all. But anyway, let's go back to where we were. So, Augusta, you're sitting a lot in the other room. Jade and Freddie, what would you like to do before bed, or if you are going to bed at all?
I mean, if everyone is sorted out, Jade will probably check up on his patient from, was it earlier that day or the day before or something?
Oh yeah, James was there giving out meds with his wife Scylla. You saw him a little bit this evening. He seemed okay. He was just helping with trying to find everyone in town so they could get their meds.
Yep.
Other than finding a safe location for Tumu and myself, yeah. And unload him and take care of, him.
Yeah, that's the safe spot you found was basically in the front room of this building. So this is like an old house that you're in that was on the high street. So, you know.
Yep, just finding a safe place to unload him so he doesn't have to stand there all night under a load. So things like that. Let him get rested too, and then sleep on the pile of goods, protecting it with.
Freddie is basically a dragon.
Yes, he is.
And keep in mind, Freddie's only about 5'3", so he's short too. So.
Okay, so you go to bed. And the next day, you're awoken by shouting.
Well, let's go out and see what is happening this time.
Augusta's just like, what fresh hell is this?
Okay, so it seems you've slept in. It's about 11 o'clock.
Wow, that's really unusual.
Yeah,
Must have been tired yesterday.
Some of you were
Still
sick.
recovering.
You've been on the road for a week. You know, on foot. This is the first time you actually slept somewhere that isn't like... Well, it's the first time you slept on something that includes a mattress in quite a while. So, you leave the house and you see on the other side of the road, so the road is full of crops. That's where the farm has been made. On the other side of the road from your vacant house, you can see that everyone is crowded around and shouting outside of someone's house, and there's a man. The man you saw yesterday who threw Stupid Jim out is yelling and is sort of giving a speech to a crowd of people, just saying like, we got to leave. There's no other way forward. We have to start moving now. And people are in denial about the situation that is facing us. We have to go right now.
Might go up to someone in the crowd and see what's happening. Who's this?
Okay, the person you go up to in the crowd is So a 30 guy in his 30s, he just says to you, "Who are you?"
I'll explain later, but like, we came last night. We were the ones that went and
Oh,
got all
you're
the
the ones that
medication for
brought in
everyone.
the fucking sludge lung.
Yeah, but we also cured it. Give us a break. Look, what's happening?
You happened. You're the reason. Like, you fucking happened. You brought in the fucking sludge lung. Now the people are hearing and getting him and shouting over his shoulder, "That was you. That was fucking you. Yeah, you brought in the fucking sludge lung, and now we're all possibly sick, being injected with God knows what, and in 4 days we're gonna be fighting a bunch of fucking gunners. We gotta go. We gotta leave now."
So you're going to give up everything you worked for, everything you're trying to work for, not even attempt to defend and save your homeland. I guess family, place, and property, someplace you can call home, place you can grow your food, is not worth defending. You're going to wander around hungry and starved?
Giving it all to the gunners instead.
I'm going to
Look
keep
what you
completely
worked for.
silent.
We may have accidentally brought in somebody who was injured seeking help, unknowingly brought in a disease, but we also made our mistake, corrected. Now shut up about it. You would all be dead and unable to do anything if we hadn't done that. Also, there's some new guns and armor over at the trading post. You should go check it out.
Okay.
And
to
stupid
see-
Jim would have come this way anyway. If we hadn't followed, you wouldn't have had the cure.
Okay, here's how this is going to go. I need a charisma speech DC 4, but I'm going to let Jade help by rolling 1d20, and you can add that success or failure as well, because Jade did contribute to your big speech then.
Can I just
You
Okay, just be warned, I do have several abilities that will allow me to re-roll, just so.
and we
I
have
understand.
re-rolls, but can I just roll to assist?
Yeah.
It didn't work when I tried it last session.
Well, I just had a critical failure on one, but I can't re-roll that.
No,
Can
that's
I?
got to stand.
I know.
Then what do I do?
I succeed. You said it was a 4, so
Yeah.
let's see if I can got any of the perks will help here. Nope, those only are with us without being able to re-roll that. But I will take a couple of additional dice so I can do that.
Absolutely. You can do that.
And
So I am going to re-roll that then. If you guys
So
okay
how
with me
many-
taking
How
a
many was
couple
that you're
perks?
taking?
I'm gonna take. Are you okay with me taking 2 or 3 of those?
These are the ones from bits, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm re-rolling 2 dice. Or additional dice. So that's 3 total successes.
You just got a success from Jade.
Yep, and I have. So we just met the successes, but I still have a critical failure. So maybe I made an enemy of somebody or something.
And we can bank them again now.
So people in the crowd are taken aback. Clearly what you said with them has resonated. They all have families there. They all have been dragging their families across the wasteland for a very long time. So when you were talking about putting roots down and stuff, that really got to them. However, the guy who was speaking walks up to you and punches you in the face.
Attempts to punch me in the face.
Yes, I'm going to have to make a roll for him.
And Jade will probably try to stop him too, if he can. If I see the punch coming.
I'm just thinking it's a stage dive moment. How dare you interfere with me talking?
So the man attempts to punch you, but he fails and completely misses. Like, you're standing there. This was a surprise attack. To use D&D terminology, there was no way you had any kind of defense to it whatsoever. You weren't moving. You weren't expecting it, and he still somehow missed your fucking head.
I'm
He
short.
got scared when Jade got close.
Maybe. So, what would you like to do?
He's gonna die. He's not a fighter by any means, so he's gonna backpedal behind people that are. Hopefully, there's a few super mutants nearby. Well, why are you so upset? If you want to run, you coward.
Oh no.
I take it.
Freddie?
Okay, is that all that's happening, Jade? You're not doing anything?
I step in front of and when Freddie starts to hide behind them and keeps talking like that, Jim now, Freddie.
Okay. At that point, a couple of people behind the guy that threw the punch grab him and try to pull him back, and the guy is just being like, "Get the fuck off me! I'm gonna kill him! I'm gonna fucking kill him! Get the fuck off me!" And the two people who grabbed him are like, "Come on, Mike, come on. Don't be an idiot. Alright? Look, he's got super mutants. What are you doing? Come on." And they sort of drag him away. And at that point, General Isaac walks up and says to the crowd, "That's enough. If you can kick up this kind of stink in town, you could definitely kick up a stink when those fucking gunners get here in 4 days. So put that energy to good use and get ready. Go." Some of the crowd start to move away. Others just stand there looking a bit crestfallen, confused at what's just happened. So yeah, what would you like to do?
Well, we were supposed to.
Shall we go check out the mine?
Right. They will talk about the mines and the military outpost. Was that it? But they couldn't get to both of them before we got here because there weren't people enough.
Well, yeah. One of them, they said there was a monster, and the one they said he's looking over at Augusta robots. But yeah, we did agree to that, didn't we? And he looks over at Jade. So which one do you think?
I mean, as I remembered, we talked about the monsters. We had a really good argument and reasoning about it, and
we were thinking about going to the mines because it was right near the vault, and that way we could always take a quick peek over at the vault.
Yes, and I think we argued that we would rather face a monster than robots or whatever it was we suspected at the military outpost. So at least I and Roman we didn't talk about splitting up and going with each group, right?
No, we weren't. That wasn't an option. I want to make sure we all stay together. Okay. That way we only have to.
I'm pretty.
Well, we have to just reset a few things.
You should be audible and visible now.
Yeah.
There you go.
Testing.
I didn't refresh the link. is the whole thing. But
Yep.
yeah,
I hear it.
we're back.
Cool.
We probably sound okay-ish. That's enough.
Good luck editing this later.
I don't think that's going to happen tonight. But yeah, so you were talking about where you wanted to go next. You've been standing out in basically on the main road in front of the farm. There's people have been milling off. General Isaacs is on the other end talking to a couple, like her men, the other 2 Minutemen, and you've been talking about where you're going next. So what would you like to do?
I think we're going to head to the quarry.
Yep.
Check up with
Prepare
the-
for whatever we find. It could be a mess down there.
Okay.
Ask Jim to come along to go check it out for us, and we'd snipe her from a distance.
Okay, you don't know where Stupid Jim is. You
Okay,
haven't
I know
seen
I
him
wouldn't do
since
that to
last
him anyway.
night when he was helping you give out medication.
Well, hopefully he didn't go alone. All right. Are we ready? Aye.
As ready as we'll ever be. Should we get weapons off Mutu if we haven't got weapons on us?
Yeah, if there's anything you want, please go ahead and take it.
I think I'm okay for ammo for the time being, and I've got a gun, and using other stuff to hit things with didn't go so well before, so I'm not going to do that again just now.
I think Jed will check up with the general and like, first of all, like, we don't know where Jim is right now. Do you want us to take him with you, or are you okay with him being here where he can get into trouble?
Well, to be honest, he was more helpful than I thought he was going to be last night. He was pretty good. So you're going to go to the quarry today, yeah?
I think that's the plan.
What's the plan? Yes.
All right. We'll go hit
If
the
you're
military
good here,
outpost
you
then.
think you're like.
I'm sorry, what were you asking?
If you're good here, if you don't need to.
No, we'll hit the military outpost.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Good luck.
So.
Yeah, well. Needs to be done, doesn't it? All right. And she walks off.
Well, shall we?
Yeah, let's get going.
Okay, as you're walking out through town, you spot Stupid Jim. He is standing in Caroline's store.
Jim!
Has Jim even got money?
Just, if he's there, then, I mean, let him stay. What? Do we want him to go with us?
Yes.
Jimmy heard, Stupid Jim
Let's go.
heard you yelling from outside and just came to the door and said, "Give me a second." He runs into the back of the shop, and you see. I need to get better remembering people's names.
Carolyn?
It's quite a busy town, to be fair.
It is. I'm now very aware that I'm throwing lots of characters at you. You see at the back of the shop, Gut Guzzler walks out wrapped in a blanket and gives Stupid Jim a kiss. And then Stupid Jim runs outside and joins you and says, "Where are we going? What are we doing?"
We're going to the quarry.
Ah, right. Okay.
Freddie's just shaking his head.
Are you do you want to come with us, Jim?
Yeah, that's
It
why I'm
could
here.
be an
Let's go.
exciting time.
Let's go do hero things.
Have you got any weapons or anything?
Yeah, I got weapons.
He
He pulls out a tire iron
with...
and a shotgun.
Yeah, a tire, and that works out really well. Okay, that's better than nothing. Let's go.
Okay, so he puts his tire iron and his shotgun back in his trousers, and he's just walking along next to you.
I
Towards.
really hope you talk to him about safeties.
He's not like what you would call a safety conscious guy.
No.
Jade wanted to talk to him about safety too, but that wasn't about weapon.
Well, I mean, you still can. We've got the whole, however long it takes to walk here, you can try and explain the concept of
It's like a
prophylactic.
20-minute, 30-minute walk. So, Jade, you walk up to stupid Jim and what do you say?
I'm leaving you to this, Jade. Good luck.
And you see Freddie put his fingers in his ears and just go la la la. I really need to find some headphones.
I just like, even though Jade is a small mutant, he's still quite a bit
taller
higher
than us.
than Jim, right? Jim is a small person.
Yeah, he's small compared to you, yeah.
Yeah. So I think with all the trouble he's getting into, I think Jade sees him more like a kind of a ruling kid in some ways. So he will just go up to him and like tussle his hair a bit and like, well, you looked happy. Did you have a good night?
Yeah, it was great when I stopped coughing up that stuff.
Right.
We did medicine, like doctors do. I must have injected like 6 people last night.
Those poor people.
Hopefully with the medicine.
It's whatever you gave me, Doc. I don't know. You told me it was medicine. I injected 6 people.
And what about, what was the name? Gosler? Was that only medicine you injected too?
Jesus Christ. No, I didn't inject her with medicine. I just, we fucked.
That is a good way to...
Jade, leave him alone.
Well, do you want to hear about the fucking? Because I can tell you about that.
No, we don't. Come on, let's focus on the mission here. Jim, when we get there, you're going to run down there in front of the cave and go, wah, and then run away and see what comes out after you.
I don't think I want to do that, Freddie.
I thought you were distracted enough to agree. Never mind.
Freddie, I'm having a medical discussion with the boy.
Then talk to him about the medical stuff.
Why do you want to talk to me about medical stuff?
I don't want to hear the other stuff.
Well, right.
I don't think
Never mind, come here. So Jed was like, never mind, it's like patient confidentiality, and like go a bit either behind or in front, like take Jim a bit to the side and let the others like...
Yeah.
Doc, if you
We're
going to walk a little bit faster just to get away.
I used to get involved in all sorts of torturous sexual activity. I'm good.
I just want to make sure that you don't catch or spread around any other diseases.
In my defense with that, I was bitten by a rad roach that gave me sludge lung.
Yeah, I thought that's how the sludge lung got here.
I didn't fuck the rad roach.
Are you sure? And Jade will like
a
little crooked
my name
smile.
may be stupid Jim, but I know the difference between fucking and fighting.
All right then. I just wanted to make sure,
And that's what makes you a good doctor.
You have to stay safe and you have to protect yourself and the people you get involved with.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you, Doctor. Stupid Jim will not keep that in mind. But you've got other problems.
Yeah.
Now. So
I
you
look
arrive.
over at Augusta. We didn't get far enough away to. We didn't. We had.
I don't think they're far enough away in the world.
So you approach the quarry, and it's, for a lot of you, probably the biggest thing you've seen. The biggest one thing you've seen. It's this huge, gaping hole in the earth. And at the bottom, about 30 feet down, you can see there's a bunch of old equipment, long rusted and almost faded into nothing. There's a couple of like little huts, like porter cabins, I guess you'd call them in the UK, things like that. And there's no obvious way to get down to the bottom. What would you like to do?
Do we want to get down to the bottom? Is that where the explosives are? Probably, I guess.
Would you like
I'm
to
guessing
scavenge
one of those
around where
buildings
you are
below.
and see if there's any explosives there?
Yeah, it's quite unlikely, given that if they're still there, then they wouldn't be easily accessible.
About how far across is this, Michelle? Excuse me, overseer.
I'd say it's about 100 feet across and 30 to 40 feet down, depending.
Meters, please.
Meters.
30 is about 10 meters. 10 to 12, 15 meters, and across would be
30 meters. But 100 foot is about 30 meters.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I know 300 feet.
We had a weird
8.2.
royal family for a bit, and this is how most.
Had? No, anyway.
We still have, but they were pretty weird, decided that this is how we measure things, to the confusion of the rest of the planet.
Hey.
See, maybe 100 feet is something like, what, 30 meters across, and 40 feet is about, what, 20
10
meters
down?
I got it pretty close. So.
Yeah, it's
very big.
All I know, because I have to deal with it all day long, is 98.2 meters is 300 feet. So.
Well, this is a bit unexpected because I've never actually seen what this quarry looks like, and I didn't expect it to be so big and inaccessible. I mean, there's obviously a very easy way down, but we do have to be able to get back up again.
Yeah, walking the perimeter, Michelle. Excuse me, overseer. I like that name, overseer.
Well, walking around, there's not a lot there because.
Looking for ways down, old ladders, or if it was I'm not scientifically inclined character, but Tim has a been around quarries, so crane or something that might be lowering or things like that. That would probably be for more
steps hewn into the rock,
or something that fell. Just trying to give an indication of how they got down there before.
Just have to reopen the game. Because Roll20 decided to vanish on me. Then I'm going to ask for a roll. So anyone can make this check. But it's going to be a intelligence survival DC 2.
Oof.
A little bit worried about this.
Well, you don't need to be. Okay.
I think all of us did pretty good that time around.
And there was a critical success. Okay. So for that, you see that there is not really an obvious way down. And if there was anyone, and the last people who went down there, General Isaacs, that you don't see any signs of how she got down either. The only thing you do see is that there's plenty of metal posts and railings, and you can imagine that if somebody had a bunch of like climbing equipment of some kind, they could maybe have rigged something and climbed down.
Have we got? I know it's a thing in D&D of just carrying rope around everywhere, but I don't think we do that.
If we would have, we're going to do a flashback scene. How about this?
That's a blade in the dark thing.
No, I think this one has some. Yeah, but either way. We talked to the general and figured out how they had previously been here to investigate if they went down.
Yeah, we should have asked the general for advice, really.
That's where the quick little flashback,
Are you asking me to do a flashback?
Is that something we could do? As I'm asking you that.
Or we could walk back
Something.
and ask the
It's
general
not really
and then walk
something
back again.
I didn't really
But
think
he's-
it was a game mechanic like that.
No, I'm just asking in general, oh, can we go back? Like, oh, I asked the general how they got down because I never had the conversation with them.
What he's really asking if we would have had the time to talk to the general to learn what they used to get down, so we knew what we need and have acquired it before we.
Or alternatively, we're going to walk back and ask the general, then walk back again.
That you can do. If you wanted to walk back and ask the general stuff, you can absolutely do that.
That just
So
feels really, unprepared, and that's not like us, is it?
Not at all.
Well, we were distracted by Jim and his antics,
And our lungs. So.
Okay.
And getting people not saying, we'll wander back going, why didn't we do this before?
Okay,
I blame
so
stupid Jim.
you go
Yes.
back and you see General Isaacs is there with her soldiers. This
Oh, you
makes up the
haven't left
entirety of the Minutemen. They are standing, readying their muskets. They look like they're about ready to go somewhere.
Glad we caught you before you headed out, General. We made it to the quarry and we're looking around. How did you get down when you surveyed the area earlier?
I climbed down.
I look over at the other two. Good luck with that.
Have we got? Can we borrow some climbing equipment, please?
Oh, yeah, sure. Let me have a look. She goes over to some bags. She hands over a rope.
That'll do.
All right, good luck.
Freddie, when we get there, I think we'll have to leave Mutu at the top. Tumu, sorry, I don't know why I keep getting their name wrong.
Well, he does.
Because we
move
absolutely
through
can't
time
have them
usually.
come down.
Yeah, that's true, but I want to know. I guess maybe we can. He should stay put. We can at least tie the rope to him and maybe call him if we need a quick exit. He usually listens. At least the right head.
Okay,
Left
so I
head's
guess
always eating.
we're walking back again with the rope.
Okay. So let's just go through it. You walk back, you get back to the thing.
This is very authentic to my experience of playing Fallout, to be fair.
I forgot this. Go back.
Yeah.
So you arrive back, and I assume you want to use the rope to tie it on something to climb down.
Yeah, we're going to tie it to either the metal railings or tie it to Tumu and get Tumu to sleep very still.
Oh, that could be scary. Somebody scares Tumu and it runs off and there goes our rope. No.
Okay, tie it to a metal thing that seems as solid as possible. We'll check it.
Okay, so
We'll have Roman pound a stake in the ground we tie to.
And maybe let the super mutants go first because they'll be heavier, and like we're still there to like secure the rope if it loosens when they're going down, and if it's fine for them, it'll certainly be okay for the humans.
I'm going to assume that you can tie a knot.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just going to assume that the rope is fine. But what I'm going to need from everyone is, to climb down, you will need to pass a DC 2 strength athletics check.
I am going to need to let others go in case they need to use any points because I damn sure am going to have to.
1 success.
You can use a re-roll or whatever if you need to.
I might do that. And mechanically, what am I doing to do that? Just take the roll again, or do I re-roll one of the individual?
Just re-roll 1d20, and you've got to get 5 or under.
I can do typing in the right box and everything. Apparently, no, I can't.
In the side menu, left side.
Yeah, I'm going to it. Got a 9.
So still a fail.
Are you using an action point or one of our re-rolls? Just so I know.
I had done to do that, so I've taken action points down to 4. Did you use 2?
A bunch of
yeah.
You could use a re-roll from the bits.
Yeah, I'm just checking my perks real quick. I shouldn't have put roll 20 on my small screen where I can barely see it. Give me a sec.
And here I was just complaining 3 large
you were right.
weren't enough.
Maybe you got yours, didn't you? Do yours as well.
I have 2 successes and Tim did 2.
Yep, I was just waiting to see if people needed it because I'm going to start with what do I have.
Yeah, it's just me that's having a problem here.
Freddie got a critical. Only way he would have gotten down.
Okay. So, Augusta, I'm going to let you do like 1 re-roll with the bits, but then that's it. If this doesn't work, then you've got to live with whatever you got.
That's fine. And I got 11.
Okay. So, very simple. Okay, so everyone makes it down fine, except Augusta, who about 3/4 of the way down loses her grip and she falls about 8 feet and loses 2 hit points.
Oh, are you okay?
At least I landed on a softer part.
Okay, so you're now in the basin of the quarry.
Did our slightly noisy landing attract any attention as Freddie looks over at the entrance of what I assume is, you said there was an opening?
Yeah. You're completely on the other side of that.
Oh, I'm still looking to see if something comes out as soon as...
I'm just standing up, brushing sand or dirt off myself.
At the moment, it's quiet. You're in the basin. There's a bunch of junk, a bunch of like diggers and other equipment that is long rusted into almost nothing.
There must have been some way for those diggers to get in and out of the quarry.
Rotted. It's
Sorry.
You said there was buildings or structures down here?
Yeah, little porta cabins. Like with most have got like the roof has been torn off by time. You can see inside. At most, there's like a desk inside, maybe. Like they obviously used to be offices where people worked. Now they are basically almost nothing because they've just been out in the open, in the elements for 200 years.
You can always scavenge later.
Well, I'm looking at. We can head over there and use that as cover more than anything, but it doesn't look like it's too stable.
Is there anything in there though? There might be someone or something in that cabin.
Oh, you can
Well,
see inside. Like, there's not really.
Oh,
The
fair.
walls are basically taken a chunk
Gone.
out of. Like, it's quiet. You'd be very surprised if there was anything out here.
are we seeing? I have survival, so I'm not too bad at that. He's checking to see if there's any prints of other large animals down here
Okay.
or things like that walking around.
I think that's an intelligence survival. Difficulty 1.
And I poked myself in the eye, it looks like.
I might have a look as well, just in case there's anything I can see.
Freddie, you see no signs of anything.
And what's my critical failure part?
I'll look in a different part of the
I'm
quarry.
going to need to save that for a while because I don't know how. Look, I don't know how to complicate you looking around.
I'm only thinking something like got dust or dirt in my eye, looking up, ooh, and there's something silly,
Okay.
I'm trying to help you, but I shouldn't. Or it comes up later.
I need to get better at this. Yeah, this is something. Okay.
Or
You look
under
around and. Okay, no, I got something. You look around and you don't see any sign of anything until something takes a bite out of your foot.
Lucky I got antibiotics. It's a rad roach.
There we go. And it completely fails to get through your shoe.
What do I feel applying pressure on my foot?
You look down and there is a baby radroach who's tried to take a bite out of your shoe and has failed miserably to get through your shoe.
I step on it with my other foot.
It's dead.
And wipe it. And careful, rad roaches. Hopefully antibiotics still work for a while.
They get everywhere.
This is a baby radroach that you just killed. It didn't make it through your shoe. It didn't touch you at all.
No, I'm just saying if there's one, there's 1,000. So
okay. Augusta, did you say you were doing a check?
I did it. I got 1 success in another part of the quarry.
Okay, there's barely any signs that anything has been down here at all. Like, it's been open to the elements. It's quite sandy. It's very, very dry. So you don't see any obvious signs of footprints. But what you do find is under one of the old porter cabins, you see signs of, well, you see some dog excrement.
Wild dogs? Is that a thing that we've come across much? Because I know people didn't really take dogs into vaults, and there are some dogs around, but...
Oh, definitely wild dogs. I mean, nobody around to stop them from breeding and running in packs. I mean, literally descendants of wolves. This is at least what I heard from school marm.
I mean, you've been around the wasteland a lot more recently and a lot more variedly than I have. I've spent the last few years in Edinburgh, the last few months, I should say.
According to stories, I mean, yeah, what used to be domesticated are pets, according to what we know, left to roam free, along with the animals that were used to be at what they call zoos that might have gotten out and such. Might even be why some of them mutants come from.
So what are you doing?
It looks like Jade is also searched.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. So, yeah, you search around and you also find some dog droppings, essentially, under another porter cabin.
Well, I'm keeping my gun handy just in case, but dogs shouldn't be a huge problem.
Singular. Yeah, I think our only choice we're going to have is to search those buildings, and then if we can't find the explosives there, we're going to have to go into the mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I also want to look around because if this was a quarry and there's digging equipment and porta cabins here, they were getting all that in here somehow, unless when all the nuclear explosions happened, the buildings and stuff fell down from above.
I was thinking maybe they had the cranes bring people and things down.
Oh, maybe.
Or if there was a structure somewhere, I mean, he's looking something that fell. He's looking for a pile of metal, but it may have rusted out.
True. Or being taken for parts. If the Brotherhood of Steel had been by, they'd have stripped out any big bits of metal to build their stuff with.
Okay. So, are you looking around the basin? Is that what you're doing? You're scavenging?
We're going to be heading towards at least I'm going to be heading towards one of the buildings. Without having an accurate map in front of me, I'd pick the left one just for sake of.
And I'll go along with Freddie, sort of as backup, but also just like looking around. I'm not as good a scavenger as he is, but I can keep an eye on things whilst he's working.
Okay.
When we get closer to the building, I'm going to switch to my pistol, not the rifle, but that's about the biggest difference.
Okay, can you give me a perception survival checks, both of you?
Freddie can't roll his specialties today. What the hell? Why is survival at 1?
No successes for either of us.
No, why is survival at 1? It should be at 4. What the heck?
It isn't. Yours is at 4. It's Augustus that's at 1.
Oh, I'm still failing. Why?
I'm not sure if I've altered mine since we got better from being sick, actually.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
rolling
is that
better
the
when I
action
was
points,
sick.
or are you going to live with what? Were you going to live with that?
What did we say? Survival perception.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me check a few perks here before we go.
I
Only
thought you were
those
going to do
two?
that.
On the low.
No,
Only-
it would.
Just to double check, I should be at 0 fatigue, shouldn't I?
Yeah,
Yep.
you're all at 0 fatigue. Or,
That will make your dice roll differently. So if you, I forgot to turn that off the first time earlier too. So you might want to try to re-roll without fatigue. I don't know if that what it does on this game though.
Is that okay, Overseer?
sure.
Was it only them that should roll survival perception, or should I do it too?
They were the ones who walked off and said they were searching.
Didn't help.
What would you like to do? You want to search too?
Yeah, that's why we're here. I mean, there isn't much
Okay.
else to do. So,
Perception and survival.
Please see something. No pressure.
And when they're done, I'm going to use one of our action points or two. Try.
Okay. Well, you don't need to because Jade just nailed it. So you walk around, and Freddie and Augusta, you don't really see much. You walk into some of the buildings. You're looking into the old port cameras. You open the desks. There's not really a lot there. Jade is looking around elsewhere, and she. No,
hey.
you're she. He's a they. I will get that right one day. I apologize. Jade, he finds a bit of junk, a couple of explosives, a few bits of clothing. I'll send the details of that to you on Discord so you can do the rolls for that when we're not streaming. But he basically finds a few odds and ends, but he does not find the explosives. What you do see is the entrance to the mine part of the quarry.
Those searches were both buildings or both of the
I'm saying that
buildings
you
were saying?
and Augusta searched the buildings and you didn't find anything. Jade, he searched basically everywhere else outside of those porta cabins and found some stuff. But not a sizable supply of dynamite or anything.
Well, I think we're gonna need to head in then and see.
Have we got flashlights and stuff? It's going to be dark in there.
I'm sure we can make a torch out of something here.
I've still got a nuclear battery in my pocket.
That's not a way really you would want to start a fire.
You just bang 2 batteries together to keep warm. No, we could, if there's like a broken light or something, we can attach it to that and a regulator and make it work. But we'll just go in just now. Maybe there's lights in there that are operable. Can be powered by wind or something.
Well, let's at least go look in.
Agreed.
Move up towards the entrance then, I guess, is what we would plan to do. Okay, so you move up to the entrance.
Cautiously?
Is that you move into the entrance, yeah?
Yes, but I was saying somewhat cautiously. So
okay.
Not just run.
You try to move up cautiously. 2 super mutants and 2 humans towards the entrance.
By cautiously, I mean
you
I
can't see
behind...
anything inside, and I'm going to need a roll from all of you as you approach the gaping, empty cave thing. I'm so good at descriptions.
Are you rolling for Roman?
No, I'm not rolling for Roman.
Okay.
He's watching Tumu.
What are we rolling?
I'm just trying to work that out. Sorry. I need an agility sneak roll with a difficulty of 2 from everyone.
I would love to see what sneaking super mutants looks like.
Not great by looking at the rolls. It doesn't look great.
We think we're doing awesome, though.
Okay, so...
I'm rusty. I've been out of the game for a while.
You try to sneak, but in quick succession, Augusta, your foot accidentally hits a tin can that may have been there for about 150 years.
I mean, my leg was
and
still
that
sore
goes
from where I
clanging
fell
down into the entrance of the quarry and just goes ding, 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 ding. Next up, Freddie bumps into Jade and sends Jade off crashing into the remains of an old car that makes a big loud bang. And then from deep inside the cave, you just hear a howl. And that's where we'll leave it.
Hey! Oh no.
Freddie will definitely be booking it back to the building so he can somewhat snipe from there. All right. Yay.
So that was our game. Thank you all for watching and maintaining through the audio difficulties. I think I've sorted a problem out. Just use a different browser for Video Ninja. That's what it will be now. Okay.
Every day is a school day.
Yes, it is. How was it for you? Was it all good?
All
Yeah,
good.
it was fun. Thank you.
Now just got to go figure out the trading stuff and a few other things off screen so that I don't forget for in a week. It's done.
And
So
see if we
I
can
do
learn how
that,
to
yeah.
roll dice better.
Did you
I'm just
remember
gonna-
to pay tribute of offerings to the Tech Pixies and the Dice Gods?
I think they forgot about me because we went through that whole Marvel game without me rolling at all on Tuesday.
This is my usual luck. It's just catching up to me. So it's unusual when I don't. So, but other than that, yeah, I had a fun time. So
Yep. Thank
that's
you for that,
all that
Michelle.
matters.
And on
Yes,
that, we'll leave
overseer.
it there. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. See you next time. Bye bye.
And bye
Bye.
bye.